Hi guys, so this is the next video in the chapter 4 series. So today we'll look into incorporated companies. So in Sri Lanka, the incorporation of a company is exercised according to the Companies Act number 7 of 2007, and it's registered with a company registrar at the Department of Company Registrar. The following procedure should be followed when incorporating a company. Register the name of the company. So when it's confirmed that the proposed name of the company is not similar or identical as the name of an existing company, then the following documents have to be submitted for the registration. Application for the registration of the company, articles of association, the statement containing the consent of each founder to act as the director, the statement containing the consent of the founder secretary to act in that company. The most important document to be submitted to the registrar of company is the articles of association, which contains the objectives of the company, rights and responsibilities of the shareholders, information about the management and the administration, etc. After the registrar of companies is satisfied with the documents that has been provided, the relevant fees have to be paid and he will issue the certificate of incorporation. Incorporated companies can be broadly divided into three: limited liability, unlimited liability, and limited by guarantee. The limited liability is further divided into three: private limited companies, public limited companies, offshore companies. The public limited companies are further divided into two: listed companies, non-listed companies. Limited companies. The liability of the shareholders is limited to the amount paid or agreed to pay in respect of the shares purchase. Unlimited companies. The liability of shareholders is unlimited, where, according to the Articles of Association, the liability of the shareholders is not being limited to the value of the shares that have been issued. Here, the liability of the shareholders is limited to the amount paid or agreed to pay in respect of the shares purchase. So as we discussed in the previous slide, there are three types of limited liability companies: private limited companies, public limited companies, and offshore companies. Private limited companies. So these are the companies that do not have the authority of issuing shares or other securities to the public and have a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 50 shareholders. Characteristics of private limited companies. The minimum number of shareholders is 1 and the maximum is 50. This maximum doesn't include the shareholding of staff members of the company. Management is done by the board of directors. Minimum number of directors is 1. Shares cannot be sold publicly. Capital is generated through selling of shares or debentures, but they cannot issue or transfer these shares and debentures to the general public. All private limited companies are considered as legal entities. Liability of the shareholder is limited to the value of shares they have purchased in the company. There is business continuity or perpetual succession. Taxes are paid under the name of the company. Accounts and audit are maintained, but these accounts and audit are not presented to the general public. Companies are dissolved under voluntary dissolution, dissolution by the court, dissolution under the supervision of the court. Advantages of private limited companies. Ownership are shared with family and friends. Profits are allocated to the shareholders. Company meetings and annual reports are not compulsory. Payout of dividends without passing the solvency test. Recognized as a legal personality. There is perpetual succession. Liability of the shareholders is limited. Disadvantages of private limited companies. Establishment is costly and a time-consuming process. Maximum number of shareholders is restricted to 50. Cannot issue shares to the public, hence it would be difficult to collect large amount of capital. Company cannot be registered in Colombo Stock Exchange. Admin cost will increase since accounts and audits are compulsory. The next is public limited companies, but since it's a large section, we'll look into it in the next video. But as for today's video, we'll finish it off after looking into offshore companies. So this is a company which is incorporated in one country but carries out its operations in another country. So these business also should be registered in accordance with the Companies Act of the country where it is carrying out its operations. For an example, if a Sri Lankan company to be able to carry out its business activities in Singapore, it should be necessary to be registered in the Singapore as well. So that's it with this video guys. Please do like and share to learn and let others learn. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.